Welcome to MMA Fancast. My name is Luke Basin. Welcome back to everyone who is already a subscriber to the YouTube channel. If you're not already a subscriber, please subscribe so you can see more great interviews, including the one coming at you right now. I've had him on the show before. It's been a little bit, and this fighter is coming back on to talk about a fight coming up for Cagezilla 83 on February 22nd at the Salisbury Center, and that is Kaelob Killer K. Always excited to have Kaelob on the show. Alger. Kaelob Killer K. Alger. Welcome back to the show, Kaelob.
Thank you for having me, brother.
Always great to have you. This is an exciting flyweight matchup for you for the number one contenders spot. And then I believe that
Yes, sir.
means that the winner will be getting the shot at the belt for Cagezilla. So talk about how this fight came together versus Mayo McKinney, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah, so pretty much I'm coming back to Cagezilla this time, February 22nd, Cagezilla 83 in Manassas, Virginia at the Salisbury Center. McKinney, very solid fighter. He's ranked number one right now at 125, which is where the fight will take place. Like you had mentioned, it is for the number one contender spot. So the winner will fight for the flyweight championship over at Cagezilla next. Yeah, it looks like on paper it'll be a very fun stylistic matchup. He's a striker, and I feel like I'm just a very well balanced MMA fighter in general. So him as well. But striking is definitely how he where he does his best work. So.
Well, that sounds like a fantastic matchup. It's always a great opportunity when you can fight for the number one contender spot. Cagezilla is, I know, organization you fought for
Yes, sir.
before, and I believe you've been staying pretty busy as far as taking fights. What is your mindset? I know you're still very young. What's your mindset as far as fighting as often as you are?
It's just it. I train hard, I show up prepared and never really, knock on wood, never really get injuries or anything like that. So it's, at being a 23, I just turned 23 in January here. So you're just trying to stay active, trying to get as much experience as I can against the highest level guys. I mean, if you look up and down my resume, I mean, I fought the who's who of the 125 division. I mean, if he's legit, I fought him already. And this is like the last guy, in that.
Well, it looks like we've lost audio from Kaelob, which is, let's see technically if we can get him back here. Kaelob,
I can hear you, bro.
can you hear me now, Kaelob?
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, it looks like we are going to continue right along. It's still recording, so let's just jump back into it. You were in the process before we had the technical issue of giving your reason for fighting as often as you are, and you had said that this is the last guy at 125 that you kind of need to fight, and then we got cut off. So take it from there.
Yes, sir. Like I said, when you look at the rankings, he's ranked number one in the state. That is a position that I claimed at one point. I was the number one guy in the state as well at one point. And so I step in the cage with the number one. I've already stepped in the cage with number two, number three, number five. So like we're getting the experience we need. We're fighting all the top guys, and that's really what it comes down to when you really want to be at the highest level in this game. Amateur results really don't mean much. Out of my last four fights, this will be the third with like title implications. The other two being for titles, and this one setting the next guy up for the title shot. So we're just trying to do big things. We're trying to fight the best guys. We're trying to test ourselves. We're not here to waste time. Like we've got a clear goal of where we want to be, and we know that doing that is not through taking the easy fights. So we're here to take the best guys.
Well, that is a great mindset for any fighter, particularly amateur fights. I mean, you hit the nail right on the head there that
Yes,
it's
sir.
important to be fighting better and better fighters at amateur because the amateur record gets reset when you go pro. I know that's something that you want to be doing in your
Yes,
life,
sir.
down the road. Who do you want to thank coming into this fight? Your training partners, your gym, your coaches, your support coming into this at just 23.
Yeah.
Obviously it's important to have that gratitude.
Man, like I said, I'm nothing without the people that are in my corner. I if people that have followed my journey, they know that I got away to the title shot with no coach. And since I got with my current coach, current team, they've done wonders for me. Like I said, Josh Hummer, that's my head coach. He's a mastermind. He's got all the knowledge. He's been around the game for a very long time, and I truly feel unbeatable with that man in my corner. Elijah Harris, he's been there, done that in this sport, pro level. He fights Brawl in the Berg February 1st. That's going to be a good one.
Yeah.
I'll be there cornering him. So like Isaiah Brooks, he's fighting for the Stellar Fights Championship, lightweight championship here in about 10 days. And we, like I said, you name it, we got it, man. Like we've got pro level fighters, amateur level championship fighters. Our team is phenomenal, and these people help push me every single day and help grow me into not only the fighter that I need to be, but the man to handle the pressure when these situations come. Without a doubt, there's greatness in the future for all of us, and I'm just happy that we get to do it together. So
Yeah, what an incredible uh, group around you. And talk a little bit
yes, sir.
about being in the corner position. What are you as a coach in a corner? Obviously, you're a fighter yourself, but how's it different? And in some ways, do you find it more exciting? And kind of, I know some corners have said it's even more stressful than being in there because you're watching it, but you can't fight it yourself. So talk about your upcoming cornering for Elijah Harris. Obviously, that's an incredible main event there.
Yeah, this will be my second time cornering him. I think Elijah is one of the best fighters in the world, and yeah, like it is definitely nerve wracking being in the corner. This is somebody you train with, you see everyday life with, and you want to see them succeed, and you want to be able to help them in any way that you can. So it's a very important job for me to stay focused and stay out of the way as well. Sometimes like it's already nerve wracking enough. Just being there to support your teammate and reminding them of what they do every day in the gym. This is another day. This isn't nothing different. It's good to have those people around you. So I feel like, you know, like I said, Josh, our coach, is a mastermind. You know, um, he breaks down these guys to a T, and that's Josh's job. When I am there, um, I'm the warm up guy. I'm the remind him who he is guy, and that's just I love that position. As a brother, I get to see him go to war. Right by his side, and no matter how it ends, I'm there to recenter him. And as a competitor myself, man, it's a rush at these big shows, man. And like I said, Elijah's been there, done that. He's paving the way for all of us on the team. Um, and yeah, I have a tremendous amount of respect for that man. So it looks like it's going to be an amazing fight. Um, so I'm looking forward to it, brother. It's definitely something that helps me as an amateur fighter getting on those pro shows, seeing how those pro shows operate, um, seeing the level of these fighters, man. It opens your eyes to we're not doing much different. These amateur level fighters, like you've got guys that, definitely they need to progress and stuff over their journey. We're all at different points in the journey, but for the upper echelon of the amateur fighters, man, you realize like there's nothing different from amateur and pro besides that 3 or 5 minute time limit, which I have fought both. So um, now it's just about getting the results in the cage against these high level fighters, and we'll know when we're going pro, after this one. This is a big one. This has a lot of implications on that for me. So the original goal was to win the Cagezilla title, and I fought for that title. I lost in that fight, and I think everything's coming back tenfold. So
Well, that's a great mindset. I really like doing this interview show because you get to see behind. Yeah, the cage stuff is great. That's where you're going to make your name and your future. But at the same time, the mindset that you just talked about from coaching and cornering, which I think really helps develop you as a fighter, but also as a person. Being able to support somebody through whatever the result is. In some ways, that's the hardest. That's the hardest part of being a corner. I also know that you have fought for the Cagezilla title before, and one of the greatest parts about a progress is overcoming setbacks. And a lot of times those setbacks become things that you
yes,
can
sir.
build off of. So really been great to kind of see that. You mentioned Braun the Berg 26. Obviously, this is a Cagezilla fight, but I'll get to see you in person. It'll be really great to see you
Yeah,
on February 1st
yes,
for
sir.
the first ever. It's their new arena, the Sunny Days
Nice.
Arena at the venue. So that's history in the making for 247. I appreciate you coming on. We obviously had a little bit of technical difficulties, but I think it was still really great to have you on and have a great interview with you. I can't wait to see. Obviously, if you get this win, it sounds like you'll be going pro because that's kind of like the next hurdle, but we'll see what happens. Can't wait to continue to follow your career going forward. We've been talking about the upcoming Cagezilla 83 title eliminator fight at the Salisbury Center in Maryland for the number one contenders for flyweight, which is 125. And my name, as always, is Luke Basin from MMA Fancast, and I've been honored to have Kaelob Killer K Alger back on the show. Kaelob Killer K, thanks so much. You have a great one. Best skills to you.